Willie poop. Willie, 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 Willie poop. Willie, Willie poop, poop, poop. Willie, 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 Willie poop, poop, poop. Willie poop. Willie poop. Willie, Willie, Willie poop. Willie, 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 Willie poop. Willie, Willie poop. Willie, Willie, Willie poop, 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 poop. Willie, Willie, Willie poop, poop, poop. Willie poop. Willie poop. Willie, 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 Willie poop, poop.
Hello. How you guys doing tonight? This is Willie P Streams. Sorry, taking a second here. Oh, I wanted to have that ready to go, but that's real life. Okay, guys. So, why is this off still? I thought I fixed it earlier. I did fix it earlier, but okay. So, I think I'm gonna start out Julio Fulio murders, the people who were involved, co-conspirators, however you wanna call them. Um, basically, they're in trial, and this is day number 2 for the chick. Something Andrew. I don't know her name. But all right, here we go.
And then the defendant then texts back to you, and this is January 21st of 2021. Girl, I don't like Fulio. LMFAOOO, ugly ass. He need to die. And SHID, that was Will Friend, and then she shot me and my friend died. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, I'm pointing out who did it. What's she saying there? What's she talking about?
This girl is cooked fried.
Well, she's referring to somebody that had just died that we know.
In this gang war?
Yeah, we're basically just gossiping.
Oh, someone they know just died in the gang war. So she has an emotional reason to want to kill Fulio. Day 2 of the Alicia Andrews Fulio murder trial was not good for her. Alicia's close friend testified.
Dude, I'll tell you what, opening statements I watched yesterday, that was day 1. Dude, that was nuts. Like, the prosecution just straight was dropping out all the facts. And all the rest of the dudes who are involved too, they're all cooked too. They're all cooked. But here we go.
To text messages from 2021 where Alicia admits she hates Fulio and wants him to die. These texts also expose she knew someone who died in high school from a shooting, and the victim is also a brother to one of Fulio's shooters. Some very incriminating text messages today. It shows she's well aware of the rap beefs going on, and she did not like Fulio at all, and they're talking about retaliating and shit. I don't think they really had intent because they're just 2 girls and they were both like 17. It's still a very, very bad look. So yeah, hit subscribe, let's go. She looked different on day 2. Her hair's all different. One of the first witnesses of the day is a hotel guest that was staying at the...
Yeah, yesterday they had her hair all pulled back and stuff. Down here in this bottom picture, you guys see down there, where it says cooked on her head, because she's cooked, man. I'm telling you, she's straight fried, French fried, cooked. How you guys doing tonight?
hotel that probably heard the shooting.
Do you remember what floor you were on?
Second floor.
Boys.
And what was your room number?
This is Cuff Boys. If you guys can, go like and follow. He makes really good content. I mean, I watched all the Young Thug videos. I watched a bunch of his content. I mean, I was watching his content back in the day, but that's besides the point. But like I said, go if you guys can, go subscribe, go follow, like. But we're just reacting to it because he sums up this stuff really good. So.
2:30, I believe. So I was woken up by some popping sounds. My daughter's boyfriend, Mr. Smith, he threw me down to the ground and shielded me, and I was realizing these were gunshots I was hearing. My husband got up on the other side of the bed. He was closest to the window and looked at the window and saw a bullet hole through the window and yelled at us to get down. So we were all very scared and just stayed down until the bullet stopped.
Damn, daughter's boyfriend low-key saved her life. I mean, he put effort in saving her by throwing her on the ground.
For our phones, we called 911, we called the hotel lobby, and I called USF Campus Security because I was really nervous about my daughter being there. Yes.
And where were you, and what bed was you and your husband in?
We were on the bed closest to the window.
This one right here?
Yes, that's correct.
And then your daughter's boyfriend, Mr. Smith, was he in the other bed at the time when all
Yes,
this
he
happened?
was. Yeah, that's our window where the bullet came through.
And then 19E, is that a close-up of the bullet hole that was on your hotel room window?
Yes.
You said that there were bullet holes, is that correct?
Yes.
Where were the first bullet holes that you noticed?
We first noticed it in the passenger seat. As Braden Smith got in, he noticed there were holes in there through the back and the front. And then as I was climbing in, I noticed there was a hole in the back of my seat too, which is the front passenger side.
The state's going to call a bunch of witnesses and people that were affected by the shooting, obviously.
How long have you been with the Tampa Police Department?
Approximately 23 years.
Were you working on June 23rd of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that you were a sergeant, is that correct?
That's correct.
What was your assignment at that time?
I run District 2, Squad 205.
And I'm going to ask you specifically about June 23rd, 2024, the early morning hours. Did you respond to the home to suites located at 1606 McKinley Drive?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What time did you receive a call regarding that hotel home to suites?
Approximately 4:40 in the morning.
Did you get any other information when you got dispatched out there?
There was just multiple shots fired and somebody was hit.
How were you dressed on that particular time?
The same uniform I'm wearing currently.
And what type of vehicle do you drive?
At that time, I was driving a white Dodge Charger.
Had you or anyone in your squad gotten any information or intelligence that a rapper by the name of Julio Fulio would be at that club that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that also one of the reasons why you were set up at that particular location?
We didn't know he was going there at that current time. We knew he was going to be in the area and he might go to Teasers, which was off of Nebraska Avenue. But truth, we didn't know he was going to until later on.
While you were set up at Truth 18, did anything happen at that location at that point?
No, ma'am.
And you said you responded over to the hotel at 4:40 because in reference to shooting, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How long did it take to get from where you were set up at Truth 18 to home to suites?
Probably roughly maybe 2 minutes. One of the females was yelling, "Hey, her boyfriend was shot. Check on him. Is he still alive?" At that point, at that time, I looked over and saw the other vehicle.
What did you see when you saw the other vehicle?
I saw the vehicle sitting there, multiple bullet holes through the front windshield, and I also saw one gentleman laying inside the vehicle.
What did you do at that point?
I ran over to the vehicle, checked if there's any signs of life. At that point in time, there's no signs of life. Noticed there was a blood trail running from the vehicle into the hotel. My other officers got on scene and proceeded into the hotel because we thought there possibly could be an active shooter inside the hotel.
Before we go into that, when you say that you checked for signs of life, how did you do that?
I checked for pulse, breathing.
Was there any pulse or was the victim breathing at that point?
No, ma'am, it was not.
So this really is the first cop that checked him. Shit.
That's where the people got out of, and then the vehicle to the left is the one with the bullet holes and where the gentleman was laying.
And part of you, when you were testifying, you said that that vehicle, in order to get back into this hotel, did it leave the roadway at some point to make this entrance?
Yes, ma'am. It actually crossed over the curb area, sidewalk, and through bushes in order to get back into the hotel.
Did you have any concerns about this vehicle initially when you first came into contact with the vehicle?
I thought it was part of the scene somehow. USF PD stayed with the people that were outside in this vehicle to secure this scene. Officer Godcharles found the bullet casings at the Home 2 suite, so he stayed at that scene. The other officers ran into the hotel to start doing basically a search to see if there was anybody in the hotel with a firearm or anybody else that needed injuries because of all the blood.
Why do you have Officer Charles post at the scene where you find the shell casings?
Because that's the primary scene. Elevator, where the blood continued up through the elevator.
During the course of your search, not only on the first floor but other floors, are there occupied guests in that Holiday Inn? Yeah. Well, can you tell the jury, and you don't have to go into each one, but are there guests that are trying to exit or opening the doors or having questions as you're doing this clearing of the hotel?
Yes.
All right, cross-examination on the responding officer. See what the defense does here.
You discovered a Glock, or your unit discovered a Glock on Taifa McCray?
My unit did not, not that I'm aware of.
Did anyone discover a Glock on Taifa McCray?
Yes. Someone at the, I believe it was HCSO at the Advent Health. What do you include as initial investigation?
So just like going to the scene, trying to figure out what happened, trying to help people, that sort of thing?
Yes.
All right, and after that day, did you do any work on this case?
No, sir.
All right, so that was your sole involvement in the case?
That's correct, it was that night.
All right, so you don't have anything to say about whether Alicia Andrews intended to kill Charles Jones?
No, sir.
No further questions?
I mean, yeah, that's basically the lawyer going up there to cross-examine him because they kind of have to. Because if they say they don't want to, it's going to look even worse. So he's just separating his client from really being involved in this officer's investigation. So they did an interview with Fox.
It's just kind of getting out of control. We're aware of all kinds of things the council has given now to podcasts, and now you're telling me about this Fox 13 thing, which I know about that.
Well, again, I don't know if it's accurate. I just heard through the grapevine that it was going to air today.
Council's representations to the court this morning, I would ask for a gag order on all parties as far as any interviews with the media going forward until this trial is over.
Okay. Do you object to that?
Yes, ma'am. Not that we necessarily intend to do any other interviews, but I recall at the beginning of this case, there possibly supervisor meeting, a very extended interview in the news.
This video, and we'll go ahead and transition over. Let's see here. Let me see if it'll let me do this. Yeah, because then I can go ahead and shut that back off, turn that back on. Okay.
Dear log, Maybe it's my fault because I failed to take his abuse with good humor. I miss him so much already that I don't know. What's wrong? My baboon heart. Buddy, rejecting it.
Lisa, Lisa, the butcher knife, Lisa.
Will you two shut up? People are trying to sleep.
Hey, hi. Can I arrest any of you people for anything?
As if.
I insist on searching every inch of this home personally. Let's roll, boys.
It's the beating of that hideous heart!
Oh, dear God. Cover your eyes, boys.
It's okay, man. It doesn't affect you. You're not human.
Well, that's all the evidence I need. Arrest the girl.
What even am I watching?
Why are the pretty ones always insane?
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Okay.
Doesn't affect you. You're not human.
Well, let's transition back over.
With evidence and names.
I know, but they're saying from this moment forward, no more. You object to that?
Your Honor, we don't necessarily intend to, but again, this is.
Okay, so are you telling me you object to it?
Yes.
Okay.
We would object to it.
So-
We haven't heard one juror say that they have.
The state's over. They want a gag order so they don't do any more interviews. I doubt they would do an interview during the actual, meat and potatoes of a trial, but
But the problem is, if she gives the interview, the damage is done. Right? Once it airs, the damage is done. I've never had the issue arise ever in 23 years. And then, but for the time being, no one's going to talk to the media about this case. Okay, we're in the middle of trial.
Did your duties include responding to the area of 3751 East Fowler on June 23rd of 20?
Yes, I responded to that call.
And about what time was that?
I believe the time came out about 4:45, 4:45.
Why is it that you arrived to that area? Did you receive a call for service directly?
We received a call for service. I believe the original call notes were cars speeding through the parking lot and gunshots have been heard. And as we made our way to the scene, we were informed that somebody was shot at the location.
Obtained that information yet?
We had already known of the victim, Mr. Jones. Prior to the beginning of that shift, we had received some intelligence that he was visiting in town from Jacksonville, and that he had some past arguments with people in the neighborhood. And we were just told just to keep an eye out for him and his movements.
police literally knew of his whereabouts because they know he's a target. That's literally why. And then he ends up dead. It's kind of crazy.
Like an inter-office kind of teletype where agencies will exchange information back and forth.
Not so much a teletype. It was just an email from our intelligence division. I'm not exactly sure how they obtained that information, but we were just told that he was staying at an Airbnb located somewhere out in the county, and that he was more than likely going to be in Tampa for his, I believe he was there for his birthday.
If you don't know, the feds are always on Instagram looking at your Instagram. So post on your Instagram. They're going to know the information. It's public. Don't self-snitch.
Was that relayed to you during your brief before your shift actually started?
Yes, we went over that in our briefing.
Okay, so you're telling us about that because when you got there and made these observations, you related those two things, what the information you learned from your briefing to what you observed on scene.
Right. We didn't officially identify him on scene, at least while I was there, but it was generally understood that this was Mr. Jones that was deceased in the vehicle.
Was that in part because there were also some other lay witnesses on scene at that Holiday Inn?
Correct.
Okay. Though you have a general idea from the manager about where additional people may be, is there still a process that you have to go through to ensure that you get there safely?
Yes. Generally, you are supposed to go floor by floor, using the staircases to clear out the building floor by floor, just to make sure that there's no other additional shooters in the building.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to blur some of this, but these boys are just laying in the middle of the hallway, terrified that the shooters were going to chase them inside the hotel.
Yes, Mr. Norris is going to be the gentleman on the left in the white shirt, and Mr. Edwards is going to be wearing all black on the right-hand side.
As you made contact with Mr. Norris and Mr. Edwards, were you able to make any visual observations of injuries?
Obviously, Mr. Norris had the gunshot wound to his right shoulder.
You did, though, inquire of them who did this, and they just are reiterating, I don't know.
Correct. And Mr. Edwards, if I remember correctly, he had been shot 3 times in the upper arm, just below the armpit, and an additional 3 times on the right shoulder. And the staff at TGH had informed me that his upper right arm had been broken as a result.
Oh, it shredded the bone of his arm. Something about armpit injuries. Oh, it makes me like cringe. Like I saw someone get in a car accident before and their armpit was like cut open and bro, technical issues. What they mean technical issues? Let's see what the defense lawyer does.
And they had no idea as to who might have done this. All right, so they don't know Alicia Andrews?
They never mentioned anybody's name, but at least Miss Andrews. They never mentioned her.
All right, and you also don't know who Miss Andrews is?
No, sir. Pretty much it was just my response to the hotel and then my follow-up interview with them at TGH. That was the extent of my involvement in this.
Okay, all right, thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, we got a gun expert here.
Can you please repeat the question, please? Yes. When 5.56 or 300 blackout rounds pass through intermediate barriers such as automotive glass or automotive sheet metal, can those barriers have an effect on the integrity of the bullet, the projectile itself? Yes, sir. Typically, those rounds are jacketed with multiple types of metal, so they're designed to kind of come apart, especially through mediums such as tempered glass, which you find on automotive glass. So the jacketing is on the exterior of the projectile? Yes, sir. And is it not uncommon for the jacketing to separate from the core? Yes, sir, it is. It is common. Is the core normally made out of lead? Typically, yes, sir. Officer, have you previously seen these photographs? Yes. Okay. Now, you understand these are photographs taken during the execution of the search warrant at Jacksonville. You were not present for that, correct? I was not.
I don't understand why he put the box ripped up in the sink with water. I mean, what is he doing? Is that his way of disposing this shit? Why not burn it or something?
Does this appear to be another brass catcher that is not attached to a firearm? It does. This item here, is that the base plate of a rifle magazine? That is the base plate of a 30-round PMAG. PMAG, and that's made by Magpul? Yes, sir. Down here on the bottom, these 2 plastic cases, do you recognize those? Yes, they appear to be Glock gun cases. Does this appear to be the front of a Glock pistol case? Yes. This writing up here, G19GEN4, what does that designator stand for? That stands for Glock Model 19, Generation 4, which is the 4th iteration of that firearms model. FXD 5.51B. That refers to the pull weight of the trigger, so which is 5.5 pounds.
This is all Sean Gaithwaite's house, by the way. I just want to clarify.
The National Firearms Act dictates that every civilian, unless they have a proper tax stamp, has a rifle of 16 inches or longer. That rifle doesn't have a 16-inch barrel, so it cannot have a buttstock. So a way around having a tax stamp to the ATF, if you remove the buttstock, it reclassifies the firearm as a pistol. Is a buttstock.
Who took those photographs?
No clue, sir.
You know which agency took the photographs?
Sounds like Jacksonville Sheriff's Office did, sir.
Is today the first time you're reviewing these photographs, or have you seen them before?
Today, it was the first time I've seen them.
The defense lawyers, I feel like, are struggling a little bit.
Do you know if any of these firearms were used in the murder of Julio Charles Jones?
Like I said, sir, I wasn't there. I don't know the details of the firearms that were found at that location.
Do you know who these firearms belong to?
No, sir, I do not.
All right. Did someone tell you that the house that these firearms were recovered from is the house where Sean Gaithwaite lives?
I don't know who resides there, sir.
All right. So you wouldn't know if Sean Gaithwaite's mother also resides at that house?
You would be correct, sir.
And you wouldn't know if Sean Gaithwaite's mother is in the military or was in the military?
Speculation. Facts, not evidence. Also.
Go ahead.
I'll ask the question again.
Thank you.
You would not know whether Sean Gaithwaite's mother was in the military before, correct?
Correct.
All right. The safe.
I mean, are we going to sit here and defend Sean Gaithwaite? Come on, bro. He's linked to 5 shootings with that weapon. Let's be honest here.
You saw a photograph of a safe, correct?
Yes, sir.
A safe with some rifles inside of it?
Along with other things, yes, sir.
That safe was not broken into by the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, correct?
I don't know what the mode of entry was to that safe, sir.
So you don't know if they used a key that they received from someone?
I already told you I don't know what mode of entry they use, sir.
Bro, it sounds like Sean Gaithwaite's mom gave the police everything they needed, bro. The key to the safe, the cameras, footage of them leaving.
You don't know if the brass catchers that you saw in the photographs, you don't know if those brass catchers were used in the murder of Charles Jones, correct? So showing you 54A, states 54. You see the safe there? Do you know whose room this is? This safe was found in?
No, sir.
When people go to the the range, you said earlier that they use brass catchers to catch the brass that comes from the expelled projectiles. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Like normal, everyday people, right?
It's something that you can legally buy, yes, sir.
All right. And when you go to the range does not want all of your brass all over the place.
Depending on the range, yes, sir.
They typically make you clean that up.
Yes, sir, they do.
You know who these firearms, who these weapons, who they were registered to?
No, sir.
Did you ever look that up?
It's against the Florida Constitution to have a gun registry, sir, so no.
Well, you can look up who purchased the guns, correct?
I can, but that's not a registry.
Forget about the registry.
All right, guys. So while it's going through this commercial, so basically, I think this girl did it, but that's just my opinion. Just from what they showed yesterday, like, bro, they got her pretty locked down to like, and the one thing I kept thinking of is like, they showed the scene where they were like wearing their masks, but then all of a sudden they just stopped wearing the masks. Like, why would you be wearing a mask unless, well, you know why you'd be wearing a mask, you know? Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know why you'd be wearing a mask. But
There's a record of who purchases firearm, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so there's a registry, and then there's this record of who purchased the firearm, correct?
Yes, sir.
You never looked up the registry because it doesn't exist?
I didn't look it up, sir, because I've never seen those firearms in person.
Okay, and because you couldn't look up a registry even if you did see the firearms, right?
I could not look up a registry that does not exist, sir, no.
Correct.
But if you're asking about the bill of sale, I guess in
Well,
theory...
I'll get to that part. I just want to make sure we're on the same page
I
about
thought I was
the
answering
registry.
your question, sorry.
The registry first.
There is no registry, sir.
Correct. So the bill of sale, the record of who purchased the firearm, you never looked that up for any of these weapons?
No, sir.
So you don't know who these weapons belong to? And you don't know who the firearms belong to?
That would be correct.
You don't even know if Sean Gafford ever touched these firearms before?
You would be correct.
So he's actually doing pretty good here. He's trying to just point out everything this guy doesn't know in front of the jury to make him look like he's dumb and doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't know about the investigation or who touched these weapons.
Do you see the wording on the firearm there?
Yes, sir, I do.
The don't tread on me. Are you
crazy part is that he's kind of doing a really good job. Like, but dude, if you heard what they said yesterday, dude, this, like I said, I think in my head, like, they're cooked. They're cooked. They are cooked.
familiar with what that is? Is that like, tell me first, are you familiar with it?
I am.
Okay, what does that signify?
In popular culture and history.
Let's start with popular culture.
In popular culture, it's used by a lot of people who, who I guess feel like it emboldens them to put something like that on their firearm.
And then you said another definition?
Well, in history, it's a naval flag, sir.
A naval flag?
Yes, sir.
Like for someone in the military?
Well, if they were in the military in the 1800s, yes, sir.
In the 1800s.
Do you know why there was packaging inside the sink at the home?
No clue, sir.
You don't know why that packaging was in the sink?
No idea, sir.
You don't know who put it there?
No, sir.
You don't know if JSO put it there?
Never been to that residence, sir.
And then you mentioned ATK and 6 Block, right?
I did not mention that, sir.
Well, the state mentioned it to you, and you said you never heard about 6 Block?
He asked me if prior to my involvement with this case, had I ever heard of those organizations, and I answered the question.
Right, so you all mentioned 6 Block on direct.
I'm sorry, repeat the question. I don't understand what you're trying to ask me.
I'm asking you if on direct examination the state asked you about 6 Block. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
All right. Since this investigation started, did you learn what 6 Block is?
I learned during this investigation of the organization, and that's the extent of my knowledge of them, sir.
When you called over to JSO on the day of the investigation of the murder, someone from JSO told you about 6 Block.
Yes, sir.
They told you that the victims that you came across, they were members of 6 Block, right?
Yes, sir.
That include Julio Fulio?
Yes, sir.
Charles Jones, right?
Yes, sir.
Gino Norris?
I don't have a roster of who 6 Block is, sir.
So you don't remember the names, correct?
No, sir.
I'm pretty sure 6 Block is like hella people that are attached to 6 Block. Like, it's not just, it can't even be, like, just because you're a member of something doesn't mean that you're the whole organization. Yeah, that reminds me of this Hell's Angel, but I can't think of his name. There was a dude who was like super popular in the Hell's Angels, and he thought he was like the whole organization. At least from like the videos that I've seen. Now, I'm not saying that like I know about that sort of deal. You get me? But all right.
Sir.
But you were told that the victims were members of 6 Block.
Objection, hearsay.
He's opened the door, so to the extent you remember, you can answer. Go ahead, if you remember.
You were told that the victims were members of 6 Block.
Yes, sir.
At the same time, if you think big picture, this really doesn't
I was like, what?
help Alicia in any way. I would love to see more evidence directly pertaining to her, but they have to lay out the whole case.
The "Don't Tread on Me" symbol that we saw on that rifle, is that commonly placed on firearms in the Second Amendment community? Yes, sir. In the firearms community? Yes, sir. Is it commonly seen in firearms manufacturing on firearms? Yes, sir. And you said it's a naval flag? Yes, sir. Have you ever heard it referred to as a Gadsden flag? I have. Okay. And are you aware of the fact that during the Revolutionary War and just prior, that Americans in this country utilized that flag to tell the British not to tread on them? Yes, sir.
Overruled. Go ahead.
And it just seems, is